Hey guys, today I'm going to talk to you another exciting project called Parktown Residence. So every time you see an agent come out on screen and tell you that,
Hey, another exciting project.
hey, every week Tapai got exciting project. So much thing to be excited about, man. The only thing the agent excited about is the commission, right? So okay, you know me, right? My channel, I will share with you the pros and cons. Obviously, every project is good, all right? This is a very political statement. So obviously, we all have opinions on whether this project is good or not. But historically have proven that, some of this project really does do well. It's your job to, be well informed. And it's my job to share with you some of the information, opinions, predictive analysis that I can bring to the table. So hopefully you find that this video is beneficial for you. So for Parktown Residence, right, it's smack right at the new part of Tampines. So if you know Tampines, right, you know Tampines Mall, in that three malls area plus Tampines Hub, right? Very bustling, a lot of people and whatever. The closest condo over there is only City Life and Tampines Trillion, which is about, if you walk fast like me, 7 minutes, you walk slow maybe 9-10 minutes before you even reach the MRT. But that's the closest you have. So Tampines home buyers, right, are really not having much option that is near the MRT, and especially you want something young. Although you have my really, really nice property to stay, which is a resale project called Eden at Tampines, which is closer to Tampines West MRT. Nowadays, they have the covered shelter walkway. That's really nice. But I think you want something that is young, there is a bit of appreciation value in it. So you can actually consider Parktown Residence. So the developers have joined forces. There are three of them, right? Singapore Land, Capital Land, and also UOL. We are talking about big names over here. But before we talk about what are the successful projects they've already gone through, probably another video we have shared more about UOL and all this already. But the thing is that I think where the location is, right? Don't even get me started on the developers built for this, right? I think where the location is very strategic. Because finally, there is a young condo that is nearby the MRT in Tampines. I just want to share with you that there's a total of 1,193 units in Parktown Residence itself. There are 12 different blocks, right? Some is 6 stories, some 11 stories, 12 stories, whatever it is. So basically, it's not really like super high rise, but there is sufficient units with a gigantic site plan, that you are able to enjoy this project. So it'll be integrated, right? So in Tampines North right now, if you go, you don't have a single mall over there. So once Parktown come into play, right, then that's where the first thing that rings a bell is Lentor Modern, where there is like shopping malls and anything about dairy farm residences, and then there is the dairy farm mall, so it brings in amenities to the table. And also it is 1 km to Poi Ching Primary School. And obviously you got other schools, you got like Angsana Primary, Meridian Primary, which I believe is about 1 km, depends on the block orientation. But I think the main aim will be Poi Ching School, and then 2 km to Gongshan and St. Hilda's. So I would say that obviously if it's 1 km to St. Hilda's as well, then this will be a no-brainer investment. But obviously half of the blocks of Tampines Trillion, right? Mind you, Tampines Trillion is also doing really well. I'll share with you more statistics as to why I think that, this success of those projects might happen on Parktown as well. So basically half of the blocks in Tampines Trillion, it's 1 km to St. Hilda's, which is the draw as well. So for Parktown, at least you also get a really good school, Poi Ching, that will help you to bring more family crowd buyers, right, in future to give you that profit that you're looking out for. And also, most importantly, is that Tampines North is a new township where you're surrounded by enough MOP, BTO sellers, right, in future, where if they do have the typical BTO profits, right, and they are looking to upgrade, there's very good chance that they'll come into Parktown Residence where amenities and connectivity is being met. So there's even a basement link, right, all the way to the MRT, which is the project that I can think of right now is maybe Woodley Mall. Woodley Residences, right? There is a link to the MRT. So very, very convenient, right? So that's something to be excited about. And obviously the Tampines North bus interchange will certainly increase the connectivity to this project. Obviously, the MRT is about 2030 and right now it's 2025. And then by the time they build, maybe 4 to 5 years, let's just say 4 years, about time. So the moment this project is about to TOP or already have TOP, your MRT should be almost ready or already up and going, which is the exciting part. So you don't have to wait till the MRT is being constructed even when staying over there. Then besides that, obviously you have the Tampines North Boulevard Park. I really see a resemblance towards the Woodley residence facility structure. You have the Bidadari Park that's connected as well. So if you want to integrate work, life, and play, right, I really believe this Parktown really has that to offer. And also you're away from the huge crowd in the three malls. If you really need the amenities or whatever, you need more groceries done or whatever, you can head back to the main Tampines and then head back to your little lovely Tampines North Island. So that's one thing. So let's talk about the project so far. So the unit mix, right, will be 1 plus study, 2 bedder, 3 bedder, 3 plus study, 4 bedder, 5 bedder. So what I realized is that there is not many 2 bedders that is near the MRT. So what am I talking about is Tampines Trillion only got 3 bedders and bigger. City Life, they only have 2 bedders, which is about 786 square feet, very sizable, and then bigger. So right now, when you have 1 plus study and 2 bedders coming in, typically I would say that if you can buy bigger, you buy bigger, right? But sometimes you as an investor, I only have that much, right? And we always preach prudency over here. So I feel that there is that market for the 2 bedders in this Parktown, right? At the very least, even a 1 plus study, I don't think they'll do as badly as other new launches. But because of the scarcity of it, I'm thinking about consumer behavior is that a lot of the single buyers who actually just want to buy a unit for own stay, even the expats who you're renting out to, there's enough tenant pool catchment, right? They wouldn't mind Tampines. If I stay out and then I'm not married and then I just want my own place, right? I also want to be near families. Like usually that's the case. Like if you want to be away from family, then obviously there's other options for you as well. But I do see that Tampines is one of the largest population of Singaporeans or foreigners or whatever. We are staying in Tampines. So I think there's enough demand for it. But having said that, obviously Tampines is a very family-driven area. So you can get like a 3-bedder and above, I would gladly welcome you to. But I think this one a project that I think, the smaller units really can consider. Also, take a look at the layout. So as we are penning our thoughts over here, right? The layout is something that has not been produced, sent out to the agents or whoever yet. So we have to take a look at the layout. Because what I realized is some of the new launches, not gonna mention name over here, if you really want to know, you can reach out to me and then everything is perfect. On textbook, I would say Parktown Residence, perfect. The storyline for investment, perfect, right? But when it comes to the layout, the room is too small. The common bedroom only can put a single bed and 1 side table, and you have no workspace and whatever. People cannot accept. Everything the stars align for the project, but if the layout is not as efficient as what the buyers are ready to commit in the next 3 to 5 years, because that's your exit plan, right? Then I don't think that is a good investment. That's just my opinion. I would say, but generally, I do believe that if the layout is decent enough, you can appeal to the mass public, then we can consider that. Back to this project, right? So I was mentioning that, there'll be a nice residential landscape deck, and then there is a basement car park. So that's always helpful. Direct connection to MRT basement level. That's good. And what I really like is that in this Parktown, right, there's obviously going to be more residential plot. So the storylines goes like this, right? If you are Lentor modern and then you're the first one to buy, you get to be closest to the MRT and the amenities. And then the rest of the new launches start to sell further and further away at a higher and higher price, right? That would really firm up your investment value. Yeah, that's usually the case. Let's talk about developers. So URL, I think you're very familiar. So you got like premium houses being built by them, like Mayor Blue, Wharton House. Obviously, you got the infamous Avenue South Residence. You got basically proven quality finishes, like even Amor Residence. I think we haven't seen the TOP yet, but that was a sell-out project. It did really well. People who came in early actually made money. Also, depending on the time that they have bought in as well. Then Singapore Land, right? There is obviously Alex Residence, Archipelago, Thomson Tree, which is not bad. Even Singapore Land and UOL actually designs really luxury finishes, which I really feel that is very much needed. The storyline goes for developers is that construction costs have risen a certain level, so I'm going to price it higher for the consumer. So I'm thinking as a consumer, next time I want to sell to a future buyer, right? What would, if they can afford it, trigger them to pay you that profit? It's all about the finishes, right? If the finishes is bad, then a bit hard for people to accept. And then Capital Land. So for Capital Land, right, they obviously are very popular in the shopping malls. There's Plaza Sing, my favorite. Raffles City, my favorite. Jewel, trying everybody's favorite. Junction 8, but convenient in Bishan. But main important line is that they are experienced in designing good malls. And that's what you want, right? You don't want to be sold the dream where there is amenities, but then the mall sucks, right? Then that's going to be quite hard now. So for people to pay the profit in future, or even for your own stay, you can enjoy. All in all, I want to end off with sharing a little bit more of why I believe that Parktown would be a hit, right? It's because if you look at the demand, obviously, if you look at Tampines Trillion and City Life, right? Number one is that Tampines Trillion was an EC, so they are being bought by subsidized prices, which means to say that their entry price is much lower. And obviously, if you look at the last 3 years alone, January 2021 till now, for Tampines Trillion, it's a total of 56.37% across their units, 3-4 bedders and above. And then City Life, you have 42.52% across the unit mixes. So it's very high because their entry level is low. So really, really cannot compare. So what we can really compare, but also not really a fair fight, was Treasure at Tampines did really, really well. They have a total of 23.4% in the last 3 years of appreciation. And obviously, they also bought at a new launch price. And certainly, I think the debate here will go on and on forever, which is Parktown, you're going to buy at a higher price, right? So what is my upside? So let's look at it as a concept-wise. Like, why are people still buying mega projects? They've managed to sold out 2,200 over units across a significant period of time. And then still till date, Tampines Trillion and City Life is still very, very much welcome. So the market is still responding fast towards it, and it shows. The reason is because, I already mentioned a few things. Tampines is going to be the nearby MRT effect, the good school and everything, which I feel that Parktown has it. And then now if you're looking at 2 bedders, or 3 bedders, right? So we can talk about Treasures at Tampines. The 2 bedder did 13.54% in the last 3 years. And then for the 3 bedders and above is 22.81%, which means to say we can see that generally 3 bedders actually did better than the 2 bedders because it's a family dominant area. I would say that at the end of the day, depends on your budgeting. I think some of you are in between. You have a 2 bedder budget is easy, 3 bedder stretching. So then you come in the middle where you're sandwiched between like want to stretch or don't want to stretch, right? If you feel more comfortable with going for a 2 bedder, right, I feel that Parktown really can consider 2 bed. You can actually reduce your loan size, because when you reduce your loan size, then you don't have to pay much interest, right? So if let's say you earn only like 13.54% next 3 years, right, then because you pay lesser interest, so that kind of balance it. Yeah, but I think the good thing about new launches is that you pay progressively, so you're not hit by the bank interest that much. I think we have shared that across the other videos. So lots to share about Parktown Residence and more information coming up. And I think the launch is going to happen like anytime soon, the next few weeks or so. So feel free to reach out if you've got any questions. And obviously, before you even head down to the show flat, you need to have a clear mind as to, your current property setting. Have you sold your place or you're renting still? What's the timeline like? Feel free to reach out if you've got any questions regarding this. Once again, my name is Aaron. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll be happy to show you more exciting projects.